Eagles, Take It to the Limit, right here on Dan Radio Style. I guess it helps when I actually have my notes out instead of buried by the old keyboard. Hope everybody out there's doing great. Love it, Eagles, man. And in fact, going out with probably one of my all-time favorite bands, certainly my favorite band from that genre, and the Eagles being right in there in the top 5, maybe Floyd being in there. I don't know. We'll see if anyone else comes to mind. There's a lot of people I love, but the top 5, that's like, oh, wow, it's like intense. Limiting thoughts, man, right? Just trying to limit right now my wonderful music selection in my mind and my life down to 5 favorites. Ooh, tough. I mean, it'd suck to do a list anyway. Just top 100. Be like, really? I don't have that kind of time. But that being said, that's another limiting thought. How many examples do I need to give? We'll see. We'll cover quite a few. This is kind of a big concept that I think affects a lot of us. And I think it's something that we really need to look at our thoughts. Now, I preach this all the time. I know other law of attraction major players, like, even Anya's and everybody. I mean, I don't mean Anya's like even. That sounds horrible. But I'm talking like Esther Hicks versus, your Wayne Dyers. You're like major. Like when Anya's is there, I'm just so grateful I even know her. We'll see if she even still talks to me after me making comments like that. But that being said, limiting thoughts are a belief. They're thoughts that we have about a situation that is, I don't want to say negative, because one, that's the stereotype everybody hates about law of attraction people, right? Just be positive. Just love everybody. Just be a lover. It's not really that easy. It's really not. It's more than that for that matter. Because if only all you had to do was just say the right incantation, just talk the right way, and that catfish will bite that hook. No, there's like other factors that go into fishing than just whether or not you think, Mr. Catfish, I love you, right? Just whatever. No, not how it works. Limiting thoughts. They can be stuff like, I'm not good enough, right? For example, I'm going to put these over here so I can actually, in your direction. I'm not rich enough. Not pretty or handsome enough. How many of us think maybe we're overweight? God, you look at yourself in the mirror and you're just like, I'm not happy with this. I need to get to the gym. A lot of us will say that too, by the way. I need to do this. You're right. And you keep manifesting it. You haven't gone yet, have you? You haven't gone to the gym yet. You need to, but you haven't. I need to go and fill out these forms. I need to get that permit. I need to. That phraseology is what you're saying and is what you're feeling, is what you're doing, is basically, I haven't done this yet. It's required for me to get anywhere in this process, whatever that process may be. Certainly need it. And I keep limiting myself by saying things like, and believing. It's not even the saying. I've said it before. It's not the words. It's the whole belief. I need to do this. I need to do this. I haven't done it yet, so I feel like I need to do it. That creates that same momentum. Eventually, you got to do it if you want to break that cycle, or you stop thinking about it and you'll probably just end up doing it. But I mean, are we saying things like that? Are we saying, am I smart enough? I can't get that job. I'm not smart enough. That guy's smarter than me. Joe Blow, fruity cake over there. He's smarter than me. You see his muscles? He's like huge. He's got giant muscles. Something's different about that guy than you. That's a limiting thought. Are you living in mom's attic? And you're like, oh, no chick would ever want to be with me because I'm living in mom's attic. And no offense for me assuming it's a guy that's living in mom's attic, but probably is. Stereotypically, it's going to be. Women are probably not going to be living in mom's attic. You might be. You might be that one example. Please comment if you're that one example of that woman that's living in mom's attic. That's rad. And even if that just happens to be where your bedroom is, you win just by default. That's fantastic. What about your religion? Or maybe a new one I got. Life focus. I like that. I liked that one. That was a deal breaker. And I'm not picking for you know who you are. And I'm not picking. It's not that at all. I love you dearly, and I love the fact that you're here. But we're all learning from these same concepts, these same things, these same, what am I thinking? What am I believing? What am I holding within my, it's always this way. It's that way. It's this way. It's that way. It's always like this. He always does that. She always does this. She's always doing. She's never doing this. Never paying attention. Whatever the thing is. So many of us say these things over and over in our life, and we think it's about another person. We think, well, it's not about me. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about them. It's them. That's us pushed out, by the way. That is us pushed out. It's them. You don't know that. You haven't talked to them. You have no knowledge whatsoever factually about what is going on. You're pretty sure, though, that that's what they're doing. You pushed out. You've projected yourself onto them, and you assume that is the case. So we create this limiting energy, which keeps things pushed away. We're trying to bring something close to us. We keep creating this limiting no. Like the easy example that so many people use, and I apologize, I'm not going to get into the tiny minutiae that maybe are yours. Yours are probably more complex. If they were this simple, all of us would have what we want, because there's no question, at least in my mind, that the law of attraction stuff works. No question in my mind. That concept, for sure, you start going down that path, that concept for sure will get you going in the right direction. I don't care what anybody says. I'm not going to try to debate, well, this could be this. I'm not trying to debate that. I'm just saying if you spend a majority of your time going in this direction, no matter what, and even the skeptics would be like, well, yeah, that doesn't hurt you. That's probably helping. All right, done. There's no proof to it. I don't give a crap. I'm just saying this is good general practice. So when we're thinking general practice that go in a bad direction, I don't mean general practice, but, well, that is general practice. We're thinking negative thoughts. Not so good. Once we activate that stuff, that's when, like I said, it becomes us pushed out. So then a lot of times, in this case, it can go to the extreme to where you've actually manifested us pushed out. So it's one thing for me to just assume that's what they're saying, or for me to assume that's why they're not hiring me, or for me to assume that's why people don't talk to me. It's another thing when people actually say it to us. Now we've manifested it. We've gone so far with this negative belief cycle that now it's actually being manifested physically into our lives. It's no longer speculation. There is certainty now. So maybe that's that place where so-and-so suddenly says, I don't want to be with you because you live in mom's attic. Who the hell, what kind of relationship could I have with a man that lives in his mom's attic? By the way, I've never lived in my mom's attic. I'm not trying to sound like this is one of the many pain points I have. I have many, but that's not one. Mom's attic's just a good one, right? And there was a good, anyway, off topic. Once we get these things activated, we can actually roll it into physicality. We can actually experience it with those around us and sometimes close to us. Those may be in that relationship that we've broken up from, for example, or that we keep hearing from other people that I do such and such, or I'm grumpy, or I'm always talking down to people, or I just seem like I'm like better than them, or I'm smarter than them, or any of these kinds of things. A lot of times these are indications that there's an imbalance, a problem, an issue. And that issue is actually kind of what's also sort of keeping you from your thoughts. Now, a lot of times, again, this is kind of where I'm spinning it back into it. These are indications of some limiting thoughts that we have somewhere. So if I think I'm smarter than everybody, there's probably a thing where I feel like I've constantly got to prove myself because maybe my dad never, right? Like maybe I didn't get good enough grades for my parents. Maybe the girlfriend I had wasn't happy enough with me because I wasn't smart enough. Like whatever sparked this wonderful adventure that we find ourselves right now. A lot of that has to do with what's active in us. And a lot of times these things show themselves by these little weird thoughts we have. They pop up. Blah. You just say it. You just think it. It just comes up. You're looking at something. You think something horrible. And you're like, wow, where did that? I was fine just a second ago, and then I saw that. And that's like universe going, I know, this needs to be dealt with, man. Deal with this. Once you got this nailed, I got you. I need this first. There's no way you can have your dream with this in place. This is a problem. This is bad mojo, bad energy. This over here does not allow for this. Doesn't allow They've got their own choice. That's not us pushed out. That's not us pushed out. That's someone that's got their own choice that based off of how we're being right now doesn't want to be with us. They don't want to get down into that muck and be there with you. They're up here, just to use a decent way to look at it, right? Oh, dog. Hey, ruff. I can't do it, right? I don't know how to do the dog. Ruff, ruff. Anyway, I'm not making shadow puppets. That being said, the different paths, different ways we're going. These things happen because others have their lives and beliefs and desires, and we can create an awesome energy connection and affect that. And it's wonderful when it happens. Wonderful. But we can also put limitations on ourselves that keep us from what we think is them keeping us from it, or is some other, I'm not meditating properly, or I'm not doing this properly. Pay attention internally to the thoughts that we're having. They can manifest to an extreme, and they can get ourselves to a place where we feel like we can't have anything. We can't manifest anything. I suck at all this. I'm just horrible. No. I promise you, you're doing the techniques properly. If things aren't working out, we need to look deeper. Period. The stuff works, and it works reasonably quickly. Why did it take me so long? Well, there's a lot to it, and I had limiting beliefs all along the way. Trust me. Trust me. In fact, it's actually sparked like 4 other show topics that I've got written down on my little pad here. Like, it was awesome. I'm like, wow, needed show topic. Seriously, I've got about 12 right now. I was like, this is probably the coolest it's been, and I'm loving it. That's sometimes the hardest part, is coming up with a topic, right? So, bam, limiting thoughts. But I open it up. It is part of the thing. I'm like, find a topic, and there's ways I can. Catch yourselves, change it, reverse it, switch it around. That's what we got to do, but you got to see yourself doing it. It's the only way you could ever fix the thing. So if it's taking forever, there's something to it. I promise there's probably some form of a limiting thought, some form of lack of self-love, some form of something. Like, all I would have to do is probably talk to you for about 30 minutes, and I guarantee things would come out of your mouth where I'd be like, okay, that's very negative. You've got a very strong negative belief. Here's a place where you actually believe they're a horrible person. Here's a place where you hate what you're actually trying to manifest, right? Like, that's all it takes. It's usually just a short period of time. Let you talk about stuff, let you talk about it, and you'll hear it multiple times, these beliefs thrown into your dialogue that imply it can't be done, or it's not going to be done, or there's something wrong with them, or there's some sort of weird imbalance. And believe me, if there's an issue, if there's something wrong with them, and you're trying really hard to get back with them, and they're already grumpy about fighting with you all the time. I think that's why most of these things, like, either that or money, right? Or you're deadbeat, right? But I just get tired. You're never happy with me. You're never, like, right? You're constantly fighting about these things. We got to let go of these things. We got to stop. We got to figure out a way to realize that we're a larger part of the problem than most of us want to admit. It's harder to admit we're at fault than it is to admit they're at fault. Problem is if they're at fault, it's most likely you. Still, change you, change internally. Look at what you're doing. Look at your beliefs. Look at what you're asking the universe to keep creating for you over and over. It's always like that. Well, yeah, it's always like that because you keep saying it's always like that. You believe it's always like that. Believe something like, I don't know, anything's possible. Like, I finally got over the fact that, like, I can make things happen. Anything's possible. And at least you're turning your way towards creating stuff that's like whatever you want. Anything major I've ever set my mind on, I've accomplished, period, done. I'm just saying. And it's like, I have no doubt on my mind that it can be done. It's an issue of how important is it to you, and are you going to get it? If you're going to get it, you'll get it. If you're like, I think this works, I don't know, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, I don't know. If you're going to get it, that's my outcome. That is what I'm getting. I'm getting that. Be it a person, not in a weird, unhealthy way, because I don't think that's cool, but like your job, like whatever, like I'm going to get it. That's mine. It's mine to get. I own that. It's mine. This is my life with this person I own. For sure, I'm going to accomplish that. It all happens in the end. So look for those patterns. Hopefully that can take you to a huge place. Because, and Fleetwood Mac's going to explain it to us right here, the sky's the limit. If you do it, open yourself up. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Stay on radio style.